After a week of choppy downwards price action, Bitcoin is back up at $69,000. We're traveling in a really bullish consolidation pattern and we're back above a key level of support as well. So in today's video, let's dive into the charts and talk about what all of this means and the future potential price action. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jess, and as the channel name suggests, it's all about crypto, trading, and technical analysis. So if you're all about that or you'd love to learn, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Alrighty guys, so diving right into the price action of Bitcoin, you guys can see here we are back above $69,000. Taking a look on the macro charts as well, we are back above that range of resistance here on the higher time frames. You can see within this week we had a pretty choppy one. We went all the way down to lows of 64.5 thousand, but within that week we have recovered and gone back above this range here. So just 24 hours before that weekly candle close, it's really good to see that we're back above these higher levels. And if we manage to get a close above this range of resistance, that will be a pretty bullish weekly candle close indeed. It just means we've gone up past this range of resistance and tested it on the macro charts as a base of support. So going on to the short time frame, that key level that we're looking to hold here is this base of the range of resistance at $68.5 thousand, the top of that range being 69.5. We also have a local level of support as well, so that is this little range down here, and that starts at $66.3 thousand to $67,000. You can see this most recent test of that base has led to this resultant move into the next range of resistance, and it also formed our third validation point for a very short time frame uptrend. So while this uptrend continues, we should continue staying above $68.5 thousand and moving to the top of our higher time frame consolidation pattern. So that higher time frame consolidation pattern you guys can see on a 4-hour or 12-hour time frame, and it is a bullish pennant. So currently we've got 2 retests of the top of the pennant and 3 retests of the base of the pennant here. So 2 and 3. And the goal is to get 3 retests of the top of the pennant before we finally get our bullish breakout. The measured move for the pennant takes us above our next psychological level of resistance at $80,000. Whoopsies, that's the wrong measurement. So the measured move from that second peak to the base of the pennant takes us to around $83,000. Let's pop that over here. So $83,700. So that would be a very, very bullish breakout indeed if it did fulfill completely. But we are looking for that third retest of the pennant before we see that break. So in order to see that on the very short time frame, we want to keep going above the short time frame trend line here and test this top of the pennant. So there is a little bit of a question of whether or not we break it on the third test, or if at this third retest we break below our short time frame uptrend and test that base of support and with confluence level of the base of the pennant as well at $67,000, and then finally get our breakout. So there's 2 main scenarios here for this bullish breakout of the pennant. So let's talk about the potential for both of them. So let's pull up the RSI. My favorite indicator of all time. I've literally talked about it in every single video, I think. But this downtrend specifically, I've talked about a lot recently because it has existed for such a long period of time. It started on the 28th of February, and when we were approaching these levels of resistance here at around $71,000, $72,000, we needed to see a break of this RSI downtrend before we could break this higher time frame range of resistance. So that failed breakout over here and the failed tests that we're seeing along this RSI downtrend, they are it's a show of the decreasing momentum and the decreasing strength we have approaching these levels of resistance. So in order to break out of this downtrend now on this third retest, we need to see a break of this RSI downtrend as well. They are coinciding. We need to see a complete shift in the momentum and the strength of the market as we approach this range of resistance. If we don't get that break, we are going to see a continued fulfillment of this downtrend. We're going to keep creating those lower highs, on this 4-hour time frame or that 12-hour time frame if you're following along a 12-hour chart, and we will see another test of the base of the pennant before we get our breakout. So what we're looking for, if we zoom in a little bit more onto the price action, we can see here on the RSI we are actually testing that trend line now. We are trying to break out of it. We can see that little tiny line just peaking above that downtrend. So that suggests that we do have a pretty strong likelihood of breaking above $69,000 if this breakout continues. Upon that breakout of 69.5, if we test the pennant and we reject from the pennant, we might hold 69.5 as a base of support. So we might flip this from a range of resistance to a base of support. When we do that, if we see the trend line or on this RSI indicator bounce below and back into this trend line, we know that the likelihood of breaking out of the pennant now is very, very low. So what might happen if we maintain above the uptrend is we might just consolidate for a little bit more before we finally get that test, right, and that breakout. But what is more likely to happen is a break down from our short time frame uptrend, a test of this base of the pennant, and then a breakout after the bounce from the base of support here, right? So that is really what we're looking for here, is a continuation above this downtrend on the RSI, right? We need to see a continuation of it, even as we test 69.5 as a base of support. When we see that breakout, that is confirmation to me personally that we are going to break out of this downtrend, because it is the downtrend that has existed even before the price itself started reflecting these higher lows. Zooming back in a little bit more into that 1 hour time frame, we can see a little bit more confirmation that we're very likely to break above this range of resistance. So if we take a look at the last time we rejected from that range over here at $69,000, that downtrend formed on the RSI and the price action have both been broken. So the downtrend here that goes something like this, as well as that momentum has been broken. So we're seeing enough of a shift on the shorter time frames that should suggest a breakout from the resistance range. And if we move back again into that weekly chart, like I said before, if we get this daily candle close above $69,000, we are very likely to see a green candle print, because what it will suggest is, despite all of this volatility and the choppiness here, a close back above $69,000 suggests that these levels here within all this short time frame range, all these levels have enough support to push us back above 69K as a base of support, this entire range on the macro chart as a base of support, and push us back upwards. So all of these things point to a potential breakout upon that third retest. So if we go back to the 4 hour time frame, it points to a breakout that looks something like that. But again, like I said, we need to see that breakout of that high time frame RSI downtrend and a maintenance above this short time frame uptrend here. So if both those things aren't fulfilled, so if we go below this short time frame trend line and we reject from that high time frame downtrend on the RSI, it's very likely that then the next scenario is I guess the more likely scenario. So it's much more likely that we go down here to $67,000 again as this base of support on the local short time frame and the level of confluence on the base of the pennant, and get that breakout from there instead. Alrighty guys, that is it for the analysis for today. If you enjoyed it or you learned something, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel down below. And if you want to see more of my content, I do have a free Telegram channel where you guys can get daily Bitcoin updates as well as crypto and economic news. If you're interested in my VIP channel, you can check out more details over here. VIP gives you exclusive access to my personal trade setups, including entry points, stop losses and targets, as well as trade justifications and a risk management and trading journal. If you are a trader, don't forget to get 15% off your fees by signing up down below to BitGet and BingX. I hope you guys have a really great week, and I will see you next time. Bye!